I have to turn the camera off occasionally, save the battery. But you can see here. Go on, mate, up we go. Good, baby. Hey? Come on in. Ooh. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. So we've got a situation here where we've got a dog running loose. Can you see? Yeah, look. Oh, baby. Come on, babe. So we've got this. I've got that dog there, and he's going in the road. But obviously, I'm keeping me all still so that the lady can get him. Oh, you little bugger, isn't he? I thought he might have come to the, you know, to the. Come on in, good boy. Just stay still, darling, and see if he come to you. Come here. Oh my God. Put the fear of God up you, wouldn't they? Get knocked over as easy as anything. So this is the sort of thing that can happen to anybody, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like this, the dog running around and the horse stand there as quiet as a lamb. I've just taken the horse off the road a bit to see if he'll come to the lady. Go down a bit lower, babe. Kneel down a bit. You know, get down a bit if you can. He might come to you then. Whoa, baby. Whoa, baby. So, right round my horse's legs. That's it. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. That's it. Make a fuss of him, babe. Don't tell him off. Make a fuss of him. Good boy. Good boy, my little friend. That's it. You got him anyway, mate. That's it. Okay? Ta-da, mate. So there's a lady. She's got out of the house, come running down the road behind me. And the lady in the car said, you know, you've got a dog running up behind you. Now, what I'm pleased about is my little horse there take no notice. So you saw it round the back legs. I filmed it as best I could. Round its legs and being a bit silly. But it's a young dog, you know. It's got out of the house and trot, baby. What can you do? These things happen. And that can happen to anybody. Now, if I was to keep going up the road, that dog could have started. It would follow the horse definitely for a while because it's unusual, and he could smell it and he wants to investigate it, so therefore he'd follow it. So I had to stop there, didn't I? I stopped on a main road, got my horse off the road, so I left my flashing light and everything still in the road, yeah, and hoped the dog would come up, and eventually he did, and he laid down. But that can happen to anybody. And you can get a loose dog. Now, if you keep going, sometimes what they'll do is start barking. Dogs, you know, they'll start barking, thinking it's a game or whatever. So you're best to stop, let them come and investigate. It's not, I mean, it's happened to me more than, you know, a few times now, dogs running loose. And some of them can be spiteful, you know. So that's a typical thing that can happen, isn't it? Nice thing to happen, but there's no point in panicking, is there? Walk up. Good boy. Trot, mate. Trot. So I'm going to go round this big roundabout here in a minute. This one. But I'm going up here first because this is where the batching plant is. Now, you know, I was saying to you about them concrete mixers. Well, there's one there, you see. And that drum is turning. And that, when you get up the side of that, that will be making a lot of noise. And an unusual noise. I don't know what you can compare it. I think what it's a bit like. It's a bit like, you know, when you're at the seaside and the water comes up on a stony beach and makes that, it moves all the shingle, you know. I suppose that's the nearest thing. But being that it's in a big hollow drum, it makes it quite loud. You know, in fact, very loud. If you're standing next to it. So we just come round here and come on, baby. And then what we do, we go round this great big roundabout. Come over, my darling. Yes, you are, little sugar plum. Oh, little sugar plum. Come on, my baby. Up you go. There's a good boy. Yes, you are. So now we've got something different. He's coming up with park things. This truck's going to move away as we come up. Hello there. Come on, baby. Up you go. These lights will change now, they're normally you, yeah. And I just asked him to stand now. That's the other thing the chap said he found difficult to get him to stand. Well, stand still, bud. And you just got to get him there, and there's no point in shouting and hollering at him or stand still. Just tell him stand. Walk, baby. And this environment that he's in here, come on, trot, is hard, isn't it? I mean, obviously. So we're going to go round again because we get quite a few opportunities on the roundabout to stop. You know, if we catch the lights, it's another reason to stand, isn't it? The other thing is with a horse, you try and understand what I'm saying. Not that I've not done any running for a long time, but when you're jogging, if you go out jogging, when you stop, if you've got to stop, your legs still want to go forward. Well, that's the same with horse, that's definite, because horse will stop 100 yards from home. If he's got a problem stopping, he'll stop 100 yards from home a lot better than he'll stop if he's done a couple of miles down the road. You know, as far as standing still goes, being a fidget to stand still, definitely, yeah. It'll be like that. So if I stop this one here now, oh, babe, stand. Right, walk. And what I done then, I held him a little. No, I didn't hold him. I didn't give him the instruction to walk. So, come up, trot. I didn't give him the instruction to walk until that car had gone, because the other thing they do is take that as, you know, when a car moves. So if you're in a queue of traffic and a car moves forward in front, that doesn't give your horse, or shouldn't give your horse, the green light to go. You know, all a horse is, and I'm not demeaning them or anything like that, what they are is the engine. They're the motive power, and that's all they can ever be. Everything else is down to you. You don't get into your motor car, you know, start it up, put it in gear and get in the passenger seat, do you? You stand still, baby. Stand. So I'll do the same again. Just walk. And then I want him to walk when I say walk, and as soon as I say trot, he'll go away, yeah? That's good, lovely. Just what we want. Come on, my baby, up this way. Come over here now. Come over a little bit, there's a good boy. Come on, my old sugar plum. That's it, get on. Good boy. So what is training? Well, it's training, you know, you've got to be, I don't know, firm but kind but firm. You know, you definitely got to be firm with them, but you know, and you've got to see horses for what they are, not for what you'd like them to be, that's definite. So I'm going to stop here again. So these lights are nice here. So we're getting just to stand, baby. Stand still. Stand. So as soon as he moves, and I do not pull on his mouth. I'm going to explain that to you if I can. Walk, walk. So when you put a horse in a set of harness, you obviously cannot have the harness tight on the horse all round, because obviously as he moved inside the harness he'd get red raw, wouldn't he? He saw. So you have a certain amount of movement. So therefore, when you stop, the horse can move away before he actually starts to pull the vehicle. Now that can be between 4 and 6 inches. A lot of people say you want a fist in the breeching, but you want to measure, not measure that right, but you want to get it right, you know. And we leave them a bit looser a lot of the time, so that it does push in their bum, so they do jerk away. You know, they walk onto the collar, so they get used to that, and then you can tighten it down and adjust it correctly. But in doing that, if you're holding the reins and the horse is stopped, there's got to be some slack in the traces, unless you're facing uphill, of course. I'm talking about on the flat. So when he goes away, he's going to move forward before he engages his traces, which are pulling the vehicle. So therefore, if you keep your hands still in the place when you stopped, he will walk onto the bit, won't he? So as he takes the slack out the traces, he will also take the slack out of the reins. Yeah? So when he takes the slack out of the reins, he'll walk onto the reins, won't he? I hope that's clear. So what I'm going to do now is show you what I mean, right? So I'm just applying a little bit of pressure and asking him to walk. Oh, so now he's there, isn't he? So if I can turn this camera down, my hands are on my knees. Yeah. So when he walks, he'll walk onto the bit. Walk onto the bit and stop him. You see that? I need another camera on the go to show you that. But basically, as the traces tightened, the reins tightened, which stopped him in his tracks. But I did not pull on his mouth. That's an entirely different thing, and it's an old lesson to teach. Maybe we need to do that in the yard to show you. But basically, he's walking onto the bit, so he feels the bit moving up his bars of his mouth towards his back teeth as he goes, and he knows that that is going to stop him. Now, if I was to gob him in the mouth, what I call gob in the mouth, yank his mouth because he's moved, is just ignorance. That's what that is. That's ignorance. Because the horse don't know when he's coming, and got one idea, he's going to get a gobful of iron bit with a curved chain. He's not going to get that. He's not going to understand why he's received that. But if he walks forward onto the bit, taking the slack out the reins himself, because you're sitting here quiet on the cart, so the slack he's got in the harness, you see he's breeching now, for instance, is slack, isn't it? If I just bring him back now, you can see the traces go slack and the breeching goes tight. Well, that amount of movement is about 6 inches. It will be 6 inches even if you've only got 4 inches in the play, because when the breeching connects with the horse, it pushes into his muscle slightly. Yeah, it's put under some sort of strain, so it's pushing against him. So you probably gain another 1.5 inches there, or maybe 2. Okay. So what he's doing is walking onto the bit himself. If people would only grasp that, you can teach horse a lot better, a lot faster, a lot quicker, and the horse will be happy. if you're going to smack him in the mouth because he's done something you don't agree with, he's got to work out what he done wrong. But if he works it out himself because he walks forward onto the bit, he'll train himself in that respect. He'll go, oh yeah, if I do that, that's what's going to happen. But if you smack him in the mouth, you think, what was that for? Do you see what I mean? And, you know, you've got to look at the brain power of a horse. That's a very, very, very delicate subject. People get angry when I talk about that, and they tell me how intelligent their horses are. Well, and my horse can do this, my horse can do that, and that, you know. But we're going to make a film about that one day, because if you learn that film and you will accept it, people can teach horses better if they're equipped with that knowledge. Here's another one of them lorries come down. It's concrete running today, big time. But you see that one's turning now. If you was here now, you'd hear them stones. You don't hear it on a GoPro, but you've got it is loud. I mean, big loud noise. And again there. But it don't pick up. I've got to, you know, what I've got to do is turn the GoPro that way, you know. And then what I do, I don't put it back in the right place, as Rei's often told me. Now, if his air brakes went off, then I wouldn't curse that man or say, because he's got no control over it. When his pressure's right up, it automatically releases. So, big old 8-wheelers, they're coming back empty and they're noisy. Please believe me, they are noisy. Because you know, the whole thing's empty, so you've heard them, and you come down 8-wheeler tippers and they'll bounce about on the road because their springs are not being used at all, if they've got no load on. Come on, babe. Trot. I'm just going to come into this lay-by now. Over there, let this man come through. Big old truck, 8-wheeler. See, he's loaded now. He's going back fully loaded. So he's been down to load up, and that'll be coming back in a short while. We probably might even see it again yet, coming back down, because it's going up to the new, where they're building the houses, I think, and dropping it there. You know, it'll be scalpings for road, making roadways. He was carrying. Stand still, baby. So my little fella now, he's standing nice and well. Bus parked over there. Love them. See all the windows, they get like a reflection. Trucks coming past, so you can see he's standing there nicely. I'm not pulling on his mouth. I'm keeping my hand on my knee, can you see? So he's got a little bit of play in his reins. I'm not hanging on his mouth. You can see these reins here, look, moving about, quite happy when he's got his head up. But when he walks forward, if he did, he would walk onto the bit himself. So he would apply pressure to his mouth on his bars. Now if he moved forward and I was to snatch the reins back on his mouth, that's no good. Please believe me, that's no good at all. This is not that lorry, it's one of the same company, but they're running today, lots of them. So, you know, big old trucks, and they make a row. They bounce down the road, you know. So we just stand here now. All this is good for him to do. But I see people all the time, and they, you know, because they've been driving a long while makes me laugh, you know. It seems to me that people think because someone's been driving horse for a long while, they belong to the club driving, they're some sort of expert. Well, I've got to tell you, there's a lot of people who've been driving cars for years and they're no good, are they? So why should it be different with horse? It's not how long and longevity don't make you a good coachman or good at anything. Longevity, you've got to be, you know, like there's a lot of organisations and clubs and like that. Well, someone is in charge of it, then you've got a secretary, then you've got this person, that person. Well, who made them experts? You know, what did the exam did they pass to become an expert? And some of the, you know, the societies themselves, the exam you've got to pass for, and it is so basic, in my opinion, it's better than nothing. 1,000,000% agree with that. But it's a very, very basic test. And you need to be in charge of a horse under any circumstances. So when people have horse, you know, trained with us, they need to listen and take in what we say when they come to pick the horse up. How we explain everything. We go through the films with them, look at the films and discuss it. Take them out for a drive. Stand still. So he started to move then. So I said, no, you're not going to move. But did I snatch his mouth? No, I didn't. I didn't pull on his mouth. I didn't even move my hand off my knee. Come over. Come over. Come over. Whoa. Whoa. Stand still. Also, I'm not using the brake. Can you see? I could use the brake to hold him there. That's no good. He's got to stand because I've asked him to do it. If I put the brake on, he can't come back and he can't really go forward. Well, he can go forward, but he'd find it bloody hard, wouldn't he, obviously? So we don't do that. We just go there and you will do as I asked you to do. I know he was distracted by someone down there, over there on that roadway there. But he's just got to do what he's asked to do. And he's got to do this as soon as we come out of our yard. Not after he's done a load of work. That's no good. Loads of people say to me, oh, my horse is brilliant. He's really good. I'm so pleased with him. You know. And they've broken themselves, or, you know, they had someone else break it. Not me, but someone else break it. And what they do, they say he's great. As long as I let him trot. You know, he likes to, like they say, they don't let him. They don't say that. They say he likes to trot for the first couple of miles, then he's as good as gold. Well, the horse is not broke properly. He's not trained properly. Please, please believe me, he's not trained properly when horse does that. Because they cannot make him walk. Because the horse will play up, be a nuisance, snatch the reins, hang on the reins. That is because the horse has not been trained properly. You can't say, well, horse likes to do that. How can you take a horse on a public highway and go, well, no, he likes to do that? Well, you can't. Well, if you know, if your car decided it was going to speed up all of a sudden and you couldn't control it or stop it, you'd be in serious trouble, wouldn't you? Well, the same with horse, it ain't no different. You know, something wrong with your car and it started going fast, I don't know, if the accelerator got stuck or something like that, you'd have to take it out of gear, wouldn't you? Apply the brakes, do something to stop it. Well, all the time it's running properly, so all the time, you know, when your horse is trained correctly, and I'm not looking for work, we can't cope with what we've got. I'm trying to, in these films, explain as much as I can about what we're doing and why we do it. So that's nice there, he stood there nice. I've not pulled on the reins at all. The only time he's done it, like there, look, can you see? He's dropped his head down so the reins come in. When he puts his head back, the reins stay exactly slack on his back. And if he walks forward, they'll engage. But if he stands there, it don't. So he's teaching himself to stand still, isn't he? If I do that, oh dear. So it's a bit like this. If you're walking through a gate and it's closed, you don't go forward, do you? Because it's closed. But if you're walking through a gateway and someone swings it shut in front of you, well, that's similar to being the bit being pulled onto its bars, isn't it? Similar thing. Right, walk. So, you know, you can keep your metal bits and your curved chains and your whips with the lashes on and all that. That ain't for me. If I can train my horses to accept that whip, look, everywhere, as I've just said to you, without running away or kicking back or like that. They're even going to do this here, look, he'll move his tail about, look, around there, yeah. And there's the horse not doing anything, is he saying, what are you doing, Dad? What are we doing there? Why are you doing that to me, you know? And I'm just doing it to demonstrate to you, well, and just demonstrate to you that the horse will do nothing because she's trained properly.